Align Self-Care community. So nice to see you. I'm just going to wait until it actually says I'm live. Okay, I'm live. Hello, So Align Self-Care community. I know that I said I was going to go live at 3 today, and that is because I had company, but company left, and I am quite tired. I think you could see it in my eyes. Like, I can see it in my eyes. Maybe you guys don't see it as much as I see it in myself, but I am exhausted, mostly from the state of the country right now. Just the election that's been going on has exhausted me. Um, I'm quite salty right now, quite salty. And I felt like the earlier I go live, the better, because the more help I will be for other people. The more the day passes and the more tired I get, the saltier I'll get, and I'll just be very confrontational at that point. So at that point, I don't think it would be good for me to go live, to be honest with you. Although maybe it would be, because maybe there's other people feeling the same way as me. I would like to personally thank all the people in New York City for saving my female ass. Can't really say I feel the same way about the people that live upstate New York. So anyway, I'm going to try to. I mean, this is me. This is definitely 100% my personality. Um, I can't like help but not share how I feel about. I think there's a lot of women who can relate to this, but I can't believe that there's like 50% of the population, I can't wrap my head around this, that actually don't believe me and my children should have rights. I find it really hard to believe that there's so many people who are um, kind of like negative. So it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that. And um, this what I'm talking about today is 4 ways to treat yourself when you're feeling kind of crappy and stressed. This is what I fucking need right now. Like, I'm just telling you, like, what I'm talking about is what I need to do today. And so I'm doing my work because I took 2 days off. I had my son visiting me and I had so much fun, and he came and we voted together. And some of you might have seen our picture, me and my son and my dad, 3 generations voting together, which was really cool. Um, and so now I'm back to work today, so I didn't really want to take another day off because I was feeling so tired and, like I said, salty. So I decided to come on and do what I love to do, and that is take care of myself and teach other people how to put themselves first and take care of themselves. And so this is what I really consider deep level self care, because it's really hard to do when you're not feeling like when you're feeling exactly how I'm fucking feeling right now, like angry, pissed off, disappointed. There's so many things I'm feeling, and then so happy that New York City is Manhattan, and some of the suburbs of Manhattan, some of them are part of New York, because if it wasn't, I don't think I would be here. Honestly, I'd be gone. Um, I'm getting notifications that my son just got home because he just drove home. So that's really nice that he's home safe. And I normally don't do this, but I'm going to text him, so I apologize because I have to acknowledge that he's home safe. You know, when your kids are so kind and they're like, I'm home, mom, even though they're a complete adult and they really shouldn't have to tell you that they're home safe. It's just really, I mean, we do that as adults. It's just really nice to let your mom know that you're safe. So there we go. So sorry about that. Okay, now let me get back to this, because um, the reason I call this deep level self care is because when you're in the heat of the moment, and you're either really sad or really angry or really depressed or whatever it is, and you know that you need self care and you know that this is what's important for you right now, but you don't fucking feel like doing it because you're just like, no, I'm gonna, fuck this. I'm not gonna do it. But this type of self care, I think, to me, is very helpful. And so I'm going to give you 4 ways that I help deal with this kind of like a mood or sensation, and I move through it. And I'm going to do this for myself today. So after I finish this live, I'm going to create my newsletter, which I always do on Wednesdays. If you're not signed up for the Soul Aligned Self-Care newsletter, I will put the link for that in the show notes so that you could join up for the, and I say show notes because I always put these videos on YouTube, but I will also give the link for you guys to sign up. Most of you might be already signed up, but if you're not, I'll put the link in the comments for you here on the Facebook page so that you can have that. So I send out a newsletter every Wednesday, and it'll include my blog posts, my lives, and not the podcast. The podcast I always release on Fridays, but if you sign up for the Soul Aligned Self-Care email list, then you'll get all that stuff sent right to your inbox, and so you're constantly getting self-care tips and practices that you could use in your everyday life to help you always feel better. So let's get into it. Let's see. So the first step, number 1, I'm going to give you 4 steps. And yes, I do believe that this needs to be almost like done in this order, to be honest with you. And the first step is to allow yourself to feel the way you do. So like I said, I'm feeling like pissed off, disappointed, just little like bothered by, what's going on right now in the country. And so like, I'm just gonna like feel into it. I'm just gonna be angry, like I'm just going to so I gave myself time this morning to process. I was extremely exhausted because I didn't sleep well. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go for a run. That wouldn't be a good thing for me to do right now because I don't have that kind of energy. I have energy where I just need to like exhale type energy. So I did some yoga and I helped myself move through that and feel just like into it. And I was very sad, and so I just like felt into that. I cried a little bit. And so it's really about just allowing yourself to just be the way you're feeling and not telling yourself that that is wrong. It's about accepting the way you feel and then just like feeling through those feelings. And there's something that's like kind of liberating about that. Like not telling yourself like, no, you shouldn't be upset. No, you shouldn't be sad. No, you shouldn't be angry, because if you sit there, then you're going to be miserable all day. And no, because accepting it helps you move through it. Like if you don't allow yourself to accept it and you're like, no, I got to be positive. I got to put the rose-colored glasses on. I have to always be positive because then positive things will happen to me. No, because if you just like push those feelings down, they're just going to stay there and they're going to like manifest into some other kind of dis-ease in your body. And I don't mean like sick disease always, although it does turn into that, but like some kind of discomfort, So it's about acknowledging and allowing yourself to feel the way you want to fucking feel and just like feel into that, okay? It's really important. And the sooner you do that, the quicker you can move out of that. And so what I find happens for me is if I just allow myself to be and I accept myself, and I have compassion for myself, and I'm like, yeah, I have every right to feel this way. And it's okay for me to feel this way, and I should feel this way. And just allow that to be. It's so important, and allows you to move to the next step, which is ask yourself what you need. I mean, how many of us slow down? Now, these sound like really simple things, but a lot of times we don't do these things. We just don't do them. First of all, we don't allow ourselves to feel shitty. We don't accept ourselves. We have to be like, oh, I have to be the strong person, or I have to be the powerful person, or I have to be the one that, is always, is the rock, No, you're allowed to feel the way you feel. It's like acceptance, it's compassion for yourself, okay? That's why it's deep level self-care. You're allowing this for yourself. And then the next step, also it sounds very easy. I mean, it's simple, but it's not always easy to give yourself this space. And just like acknowledge that, like I'm acknowledging right now that I feel angry, disappointed, kind of sad, a little depressed about what's going on. And so I'm going to ask myself, what do I need? And I did that this morning. I was like, how do I want to start my day? I don't want to start in a rush. I was glad I didn't have any appointments today, thank God. And then I was like, you know what? I don't have my live scheduled until 3, so I have to be on at 3. So I know I have to be here for you guys. Like I want to show up. And so how can I give myself what I need so that I can show up? And I just reached that point sooner, and that's why I hopped on sooner. So that's when I gave myself the yoga and the meditation and just like chilling, and I had a nice breakfast, and I just kind of like felt into it. I watched some of my lives from some of my favorite coaches to kind of like help me feel more inspired and try to like tune into some of the positive things that happened yesterday, because there were positives. There were definitely some positives. So trying to tune into that, but asking myself what I need and what I need moving forward. I know, like, I need to get my work done because it makes me feel good when I get my work done. I want to get my newsletter out because that's important to me to get that out every Wednesday. And if I don't do that, I'm gonna feel disappointed. I'm gonna feel even more disappointed. So I'm going to do that. But what do I need to feel better today? I have to get outside. The sun is shining, as you can see, it's shining in on me. I already went for one walk with my dogs. I'm gonna go out again. The more I get outside into nature, the better I feel, and I know this. So I'm gonna get some more work done. I'm getting this live done, and then I'm gonna go outside and get some sunshine and breathe some fresh air in. And it's cool, but it's beautiful out, right? So that's what I need. I need to eat healthy today. I need to give myself space. I need to connect with nature. I need to keep checking in with myself and connecting with myself. I might even do a second yoga class later on. I hurt my back, believe it or not, raking leaves. It just makes me feel old when I say that. But I pulled a muscle in the middle of my back, my upper back. It's so horrible. Like when I turn my head this way, like it's just like I gotta do it slow. It's kind of funny. So I haven't been doing like heavy duty like power yoga. So I might do some yin yoga later. That might make me feel better. Just like super chill yoga. Maybe I'll watch one of my favorite movies, like a funny movie. Maybe even a Christmas movie. That always cheers me up. So like I know what I need. Like I'm gonna pause for a second, and that might freaking change. It might change. I might not want to go outside. I might not. You know what I mean? I might not want to do yoga. I might just want to like sit on the couch, or I might want to read my book. Might want to like journal a little bit. I might want to take a hot bath. Like it might change, and the way I'm gonna know that is when I check in with myself. See, what a lot of us don't do is we do not check in with ourselves. We just don't. So first, allow yourself to feel the way you're feeling. Acknowledge it. Have compassion for yourself, and then ask yourself what you need. Like what do you need to make you feel better? Like, do you need to like have a good cry? Do you need to scream into a pillow? Do you need to go for a run? Or do you need to do some like chill yoga? What do you need? Ask yourself. Okay. Um, Another thing that this does when we ask ourselves what we need is we're acknowledging ourselves. That's what we really want. We want to be acknowledged. We want to know that somebody cares about us, right? Somebody cares how we feel, and how somebody cares about how like what you need. Somebody cares about what you need. And the best way to do that is to do that for yourself. If you can't even do that for yourself, then you can't expect anybody else to do that for you. And the minute you start understanding that everything you need is right inside of yourself, and I'm sure you've heard that before, but it's so true. So like acknowledging yourself, giving compassion to yourself about how you feel, and then acknowledging yourself and by checking in with yourself and saying, what do I need? What do you need? What can I do to make you feel better? Okay, that's all we want. We want to be acknowledged, right? And so that's what this does for you. Okay, so then the next thing, this is something I did a little bit of. This is like getting out to nature and going for a walk, is moving that energy. So you have this energy in your body, and you're allowing yourself to feel it, but you want to move it through. And like what happens for me when I do this, when I go through this process, is it helps me move through the process quicker. And one of the things I teach my clients is to allow yourself to have the pity party. And that's what I call it, a pity party. And when I first started doing this, I like when I was younger and I was raising my 3 kids by myself, um, I would never allow myself to be sad. I would never allow myself to do anything because I had so much shit to do. When you're a single mom with 3 kids and you're working full time, you have so much shit to do. Like, you don't have time to feel like shit. You don't have time to be sad. You don't have time to be upset. And so I would never fucking allow myself to do it. And then I got to the point where you're just going to explode if you do that. You're just going to explode. You're going to break down. You're going to have like these breakdowns. And so what I realized is if I allowed myself to have the pity party, so like I was feeling shitty, so I would just allow myself to feel shitty and be grumpy and be mad and sit on the couch and do fucking nothing for like the whole day. I would give myself a day. Now I know everybody can't do that, right? I know there's tons of people. As a matter of fact, the majority of the people can't take a day, right? I was lucky enough to be able to do this because I've always been self-employed for at least a long time, since my 20s, right? Since I was in my 20s. So if you can't give yourself like a full day pity party, at least let yourself have few moments, an hour, couple hours, whatever you can give yourself. The night you get home from work, give yourself the night to have a pity party. Just feel the feelings, feel sorry for yourself if you want to. The sooner you allow this, the quicker you can move through it. And once I started doing this for myself, it got to the point where I felt like I was wasting my time having a day-long pity party. I allowed myself to feel the feelings, and I was able to move through it quicker just because I was acknowledging myself and allowing myself to do it. So then I didn't want to have the day-long pity party anymore. All I needed was maybe a half hour to an hour, sometimes not even that. And so then like moving that energy out of your body was like the next step. And so ways you could do that are dancing in your living room, singing your favorite song, exercising, any type of exercise. Just move your body. Keep moving your body. So like me this afternoon, after I do my newsletter, I'm going to go for another walk. That's my way of moving the energy out of my body. Doing yoga, that's my way of moving energy out of my body. Okay, so it's like I'm going to like, okay, I'm done with it. I'm going to move on now. And so like when you do this, when you go through this process, and it's only just a few steps, right? You're allowing yourself to feel, you're acknowledging your feelings, you're asking yourself what you need, you're moving the energy through your body, and then you can move on. So you're not trapping that energy in your body, you're not pushing it down and holding it in, where it's going to come out at some point. It's going to show up somehow. It's either you're going to explode, you're going to break down, you're going to burn out, you're going to be overwhelmed, or it's going to show up in your body as disease, right? So you have to go through this process and allow yourself this process. Okay, it's just beautiful, right? So then the next thing, and I'm telling you, so I have this list that I created. It's 30 days of self-care, and I've been talking about it lately. And I will put the link in. I'll put the link in the comments, and I'll also put the link in the show notes. And the reason why I made it was for myself, and because sometimes when I'm feeling like busy and I want to get work done, because I love working, I love what I do, right? So when I'm feeling busy like that, but I know I need some self-care, I just want like one little thing that's gonna help me for the day. And so I made this list of 30 days of self-care. So it's like a checklist. So you can keep it next to your desk. You can keep it on your phone, wherever you want to keep it. But the way you could use it is you could just look at these little tidbits of bits of self-care, and you can say to yourself, I'm just going to do this today. I'm just going to do this today. This makes me feel good. So the other day, I was in a mood. Oh my God, I've been in a mood a lot lately, right? So I was in a mood and I really wanted to move through it. And so I did like the dance in my living room thing, which always works. But let me tell you, when you're like pissed off or sad or depressed, you don't feel like dancing. Like it's almost like you just want to like suffer, kind of. But I was like, I need to move through this right now. I had some stuff I had to get done, and a lot of the work that I do, I cannot do unless I move energy through my body. I can't keep that energy in my body and do the work because it won't feel sincere. Just like right now, I'm like really pissy, but I'm sharing it with you. I'm not trying to hide it and be fucking happy, right? So you know exactly how I feel, but you also know that I want to be here because I do. I love doing what I do. I love helping other people. And I thought this is the perfect example of my mood to share with other people how I move through this and how I'm moving through this day to make it, a halfway decent day. It's a good day, right? So, anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to move on to the next step. So I'm moving through this, and the last thing I'm going to do for myself, and this is something that I encourage people. Oh, I was talking about the list. All right, I'll put the link so you can grab the list so that you have it. And what I encourage people to do is to try to go through 30 days straight where you do one little thing every day. But what I'm also going to share with you is if there's something on there that doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. Just do one of your favorite things twice. So like if you like dancing in your living room, because that is definitely one of the things, it changes your mood. I swear to God, after I did my little dance, I was happy. I was in such a, it just changes your mood. It works so good. But anyway, if that's something you enjoy, you could do that 5 days in a row. But what it's about, what's more important, is about doing one little thing for yourself every single day and start to make that a habit. Okay. So the last thing, the fourth thing that I encourage you to do. Now, this is a part of the process, and I think it's an important part of the process, but I don't think, like, I think that if I did the first three things that I just talked about, I would be okay with that. But this last part is like sugar on top. You know, it's like the cherry on top of the sundae. And it's about spoiling yourself, like really giving yourself all the things that you know you love. Good examples, and now this is really silly, but whenever I used to get sad, I don't do this as often because I don't live near stores. I live in a very, very rural place right now, and so this doesn't happen. When I lived in the Syracuse area, I could do this whenever I felt like it, but um, buying a new nail polish makes me so freaking happy. It's so temporary, but it makes me so happy that that's one of the things I would do. So when I say spoil yourself, do those things that really just make you happy. Bubble baths. I know that's so like cliche, whatever you want to call it, but bubble baths genuinely make me happy. If I take a bath tonight and then I sit on the couch and I just watch like one of my favorite movies, maybe like a Christmas movie, that's gonna make me so happy, and then I'm gonna go to bed happy. Okay, so just like spoil yourself in the ways that are for you, like not what you think everybody else thinks would be perfect, but what works for you. So like you might hate baths, but you might love, I don't know, I'm trying to think. You might like watching sports or whatever, something that I would never do. But like that might be something that makes you really happy. So like then do that. Spoil yourself. Make yourself your favorite meal. Eat the cookies, eat the cake, whatever. Like have dessert for dinner. Whatever makes you happy. Like whatever's gonna like make you feel spoiled, then do that for yourself. And that's just like putting that extra care in. And it's just like when somebody else does that for you. You know how when you're in a bad mood and one of your good friends or your significant other does something just to make you happy? Well, just like I said before, you can do this for yourself. And if you can't learn how to do this for yourself, then it's going to be really hard for other people to do it for you because you won't allow it, you know? So once you allow yourself to do something like this for yourself, then it's so much easier for other people to do it for you too. But like I said earlier, you always have everything you need right inside, right? So just give yourself what you need and then give yourself the cherry on top too, okay? Like do something special for yourself. And I actually encourage people to do something like this for themselves every single day. Whatever's going to make you happy. Just like little bits of self-care every day, just every single day. I don't encourage anyone to buy nail polish every single day. That would be a very expensive habit. It would be like $70 a week habit. It's doable. It's definitely doable. But anyway, so those are the 4 steps. So very quickly to recap, allow yourself to feel the feelings. Okay, you know, just allow yourself to move through it. Ask yourself what you need. Check in with yourself a couple of times a day because that might change. Like as your mood changes, that might change. I look so sleepy. Don't I look so sleepy? Like my eyes are like half mass. And then move the energy. Move the energy through your body. So do something where you're going to move energy. And then lastly, spoil yourself. And those are the 4 things. So, like I said, I feel better already just talking about it. So like I'm so glad I came live on here and I shared with you my crappy mood. I hope I didn't put anyone in a bad mood. But I really feel like it's the perfect example to show you like how you could really have a shitty start to your day. And I mean, genuinely, I have every right to be like pissed off and disappointed, and as a woman in this country right now, and it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, but I can still have a good day, and I could still give myself what I need, and I could still move on, and I could also still continue to help other people do the same thing. And so that was the whole point of me coming live right now and sharing this with you. And so I hope that this was helpful to you. I will be, so I did write a blog post about this, and if you want to read that, you could, it's right on this Facebook page. I believe I posted it today. And then Friday, I'll be releasing a podcast where I'm going to be talking about this even further and going even deeper. So if you want to listen more, definitely hop on the podcast. Definitely subscribe so you get notified every week when I release one, which is every Friday morning I release a new episode. I will see you here on Soul Aligned Self Care next week. Love you. Bye.